these are my friends. Come along with me, see how the story ends.
This episode is brought to you by North Spore. Ever wondered what secrets lie beneath the forest floor? What if I told you there's a hidden kingdom waiting to be explored right in your own home? North Spore is your getaway to this magical world. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned mycologist, North Spore has everything you need to cultivate culinary delights, medicinal powerhouses, and even a little mind-expanding magic. Unlock the power of fungi with their top-notch spawn, easy-to-use kits, and a treasure trove of knowledge. If you're ready to embark on your mushroom journey, visit northspore.com and discover a community of passionate growers, expert resources, and endless possibilities. It's time to tap into the ancient wisdom of fungi and transform your world. Be sure to use code PROFESSIONALHIPPIES for a very special discount to fuel your fungal exploration. North Spore, where wonder grows. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Professional Hippies. Joining us today from all across the globe, our very own, should it be Austin Brown?
Oh, we got the applause and everything. That's tough.
Yeah. If you guys are just joining us for the first week, this is our buddy, a little blast from the past. You might know him as the Black Rambo if you're an OG gamer. If you're just one of the homies, Austin, how long have we been friends, Austin? Since there was the declarative statement of "you will be my friend." I think in like 7th grade.
That was 7th grade, yeah.
So it's a long time running. But if you are new to the show on this episode, I can promise you we're not going to get a ton accomplished. We might move the ball forward. There could almost certainly be some divisive statements here. So for that part, I would say, hey, if you like what we're talking about, let me know. If you don't like what we're talking about, that's going to be Dylan's department over on Instagram. So DM him there, or just subscribe because controversy fuels the algorithm.
And I'll throw it right in the trash can.
Yeah.
How long have you been in Spain now, Austin?
August made 2 years, so 2.5 years. Going strong.
How fluent would you say your Spanish is now?
It's about the same as it was the last time we spoke.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
How much of your time do you spend speaking Spanish? Like at work, you're not speaking Spanish?
House? No. I do. I mean, yeah. You leave your house, but like, think about it. Like, how much on a day to day are you like? Unless you're going out and like joining groups, you're not really speaking on it much, unless it's like to people you know. Like, you're not just like walking up to strangers and like having long conversations, unless it's like with people you need stuff from. But those interactions aren't really very involved, and those are easy. I mean, my Spanish is a medium level, but it's like it's not good enough to be able to break in and have like worthwhile conversations that I really want to engage in. And it's also takes a lot of effort. So it's those conversations aren't really super comfortable, so it's like hard to get into them. And I mean, as far as work, it's mostly English. My boss likes to like curse expletives all the time in the fucking office in Spanish, which is fucking hilarious. But I do some emails in Spanish, so that's about it. Yeah.
It's hard to talk to people when you're not very interesting, huh?
Okay. All right. All right. Let's run this back really quick. So how many people come up to you, all right, and engage you in interesting conversations on a regular basis?
Quite a few, actually. I'm in the Publix line, old people for whatever reason. You're at the gym. I don't know. You got to communicate that, hey, where's this direction? Where's that direction? I would do that if I'm in a new country.
Uh-huh. Those are interesting conversations to you?
Enough more than 1 or 2 sentences. More than 1 or 2 sentences.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Like I'll give you one. We were just in New York, right? And we were at the Guggenheim Museum. I don't know, some German
Guggenheim. The Guggenheim. Put some fucking respect on the name of that museum, dude. That museum's fucking awesome. What's wrong with you? Fucking.
It was weird. There was a they had like guys security standing in front of the particular art things, and then there was one spot where it was just the hoodie was cut off and just nailed to a wall, and I just was looking at it, obviously in like confusion. The guy was like, the security guy comes up and he goes, "You know how much this one's worth?" And I go, "I don't know how much." He goes, $6 million. That's why they have me standing here. And I was like, "Is this better than the banana in Miami?" And I was like, "I don't know." And I was like, "Can I cut because I had a green hoodie. I was like, "Can I cut my green hoodie up and make it 7 million?" And I was like, "I'm about to jack that, dude. I'm about to fuck you." I literally was like, "I'm going to fuck you up, dude, and take that hoodie." He was like, "Get out of here, dude." And I was like, "I'm about to right now."
Was a $6 million hoodie? Was it protected at all? Just the guy gloating that he gets paid $35,000 a year to guard it
in a shitty Men's Warehouse suit. Yeah, standing in front of it. Yeah, being like, "It's $6 million." I'm like, "I'm about to steal that thing right now."
I like the distinction of a shitty's Men's Warehouse. They got some good suits at Men's Warehouse.
They do have, but it was a shitty one.
Dude, they don't have to protect that shit. They have insurance on it. Let somebody steal it, and then they get paid out, and then who cares?
That's true.
Try selling that for $6. Okay, it hasn't been sold for that amount of money. They just say
one
it's
of the
worth
most
that amount of money.
infuriating parts about insurance is that you're paying for something you don't want to use. Can we just get a free pass once a decade? You know,
Unless you're breaking the law.
Unless you're breaking the law. I just want to be able to slam my truck into a tree and be like, "Cool, no worries, free pass."
Pay me.
I think you muted yourself there, Dylan.
Yeah, you definitely muted yourself. Yeah, that's another one of those interesting conversations.
Yeah, I thought I was making a clip, and then I didn't. No, I was gonna say that's the best part about insurance is you could just be an asshole. You're like, this is asshole insurance, basically.
My agents always get thrown off when I switch, and especially for automotive. For the RV, I said this specifically. He's like, "What level do you want?" And my go-to is just like, "Hey, I want to be able to drive this into an elementary school and know that I'm covered, bodies and all."
That is a Colton statement. Yeah. It gets funnier every time.
I'm like, coming in, I just need to know, what does that look like, and then we'll work backwards from there. He goes, "Okay, so that would definitely, we'd start off at $1 million policy." And I'm like, "Okay, so let's do a 500, 750, and I'm good." Okay.
I'm only covering one kid's family, not multiple. You know,
Well, I'm not going to be like,
Just one classroom, not two. Okay, let's not get carried away.
Who was the guy that said Sandy Hook wasn't a thing?
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. Yeah. I'm not going to deny that happened. I'd be like, "Yeah, I did drive my RV into the elementary school. I didn't mean to. So, what's fair here? Like $100 a pop? Kids are expensive. You don't have to pay for that anymore. Let's just break you off from here.
Just trying to save your money, folks.
Like, dude, if you invest this $100,000, look, check it out, in 20 years, we're talking a couple million. Okay, compounding interest. So I'm not your enemy.
That's how you afford a house today.
Yeah.
Just put some kids in the ground, and the next thing
Dude, we don't put it that way. We don't put it that way, man.
Don't bring it back to the logic.
Huh? Saving funds through redirecting distributed people.
If we're going the conservative route, we could say, or greenhouse gases and eliminating children actually helps the planet, So, in a way,
eliminating CO2 outputs.
Yeah, they're eating less cows. It's simple, man.
The less kids, the less processed food we have on this earth.
It's also weird how cheap processed food is. That was something that my brother and I were talking about last night, that like fast food. And he was like, "No," he's like, I eat significantly better food for less cost than going to fast food. I'm like, no, the point is that it's weird that it's cheaper to go get a super processed piece of food than it is to get healthy food with less ingredients.
Not nowadays. I feel like you go to McDonald's right now, it's like $10-$12 for a freaking meal. The hell is that about? What happened to the dollar menu? Not anymore.
Yeah, I don't think dollar store is like $1.50 store now.
That was a shame. That was like when old people are like, "Oh, we didn't used to have cell phones, or we didn't used to have this." It's like everything used to be $1 in this store.
That is the version. I used to be able to get a Coke for a nickel.
Way lower.
Yeah, it used to be able to go to Walmart and get it for whatever, 25
Like,
cents.
I mean, would you really want to be making like McDonald's burgers at home? That would be your pinnacle, like coming off the barbecue. And you're like, yeah, baby, get some of this.
No, that's not the point. I just want to be able to build him a gangbang for $5,
But you can. It's
You
almost cheaper
can,
to do
yeah.
that.
You just
If
have to freeze some meat. I mean, dude, the amount of meat you're getting on one of those patties is like what, 100 grams? Like,
It's cheaper now just to go to Trader Joe's, get your meat, a few condiments, bam. Get
Yeah.
your gangbang on.
I mean, from a pound of beef, you can make like fucking like 9 of those patties that they give you.
You can make your burgers bigger.
But you're making a burger at home, it's a thick boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boy.
Thick boy.
It's a shame.
Man, I
what
was at
this
home one
country's
time. I made a
coming to.
burger that was a pound, dude. Pound of meat. Put a pound of meat in between some buns. You ain't getting that
Austin,
from
that's
McDonald's.
just called fucking meatloaf, bro.
It's,
I'm
dude,
just saying.
no. There was
That's
big old
meatloaf
buns,
with a couple slices of
barbecue
bread.
sauce, baby. It was, dude. It was Wagyu. It was juicy. Okay.
I'm not, controversial take. I'm not a big Wagyu fan.
The steak or the hamburger meat?
All of it. Ever since I saw how they actually raise Wagyu beef, I can't get the picture out of my head.
Hey,
So-
whoa. Hold on. Don't fuck this up for everybody. Okay, keep it to yourself.
What part of it you're not liking?
The fact that they don't move for one, so they don't fucking check out sunshine.
It's like veal, yeah.
They're literally prisoners.
Yeah.
In really grade A Kobe Wagyu, they're getting massaged down, fed a beer, listening to classical music, but they're not fucking moving anywhere. The meat is so fatty; it's just butter with a little bit of meat in it. So it just
Yeah, but haven't you seen, like, dude, I got some bad news for you, bro. Haven't you seen how they raise pigs? Or
Delicious.
chickens?
Delicious.
Or horses?
in our house we do tend to lean towards happy chickens, happy pigs, all that kind of shit, where they're running around till they get slaughtered.
Do you
So
interview the
kinda like
chickens
my
and
cows
do
same way.
psychological exams to see how happy they
No,
really
I
are?
just
You
I take it for
Rorschach
face
those chickens?
value when I'm paying for the pasture raised, because there's a difference between cage, free range, and then pasture raised, and you can see it like with eggs. It's very noticeable. You can see the color of the egg, so they're eating a different diet. So I don't know. I don't have
They let
anything against Wagyu. It's
They
just
let them out for an hour a day.
I
and they're
mean,
like, "This is
kind of,
pasture
but
matter."
also regular chickens, they can just feed them. They put like a protein or some shit in the feed and it makes the yolks more yellow. Like all that shit can be fake. It's like salmon when you buy it at the store. They don't look that fucking pink. Actually, they come out gray as shit, but they feed them special feed to make them look exactly like you want to. When you go get your little package of fish, you're like, yeah, that looks like what I think it's supposed to look like.
whatever they put in the feed for salmon, for farm raised salmon, it gives me a raging fucking migraine. So I can taste test and know if that was farm raised or not. Isn't that wild?
That's horrible. Yeah, that's disappointing.
That's not like, I've gone to restaurants and I'm like, that was farm raised fucking salmon, because I have to take an
Oh.
Excedrin after it. Like I feel it right after, once the meal starts digesting, it just, whatever's in that, my body, I'm allergic to or something. My body's just like, yep, sick.
Dude, what is the cost difference for wild salmon versus farm raised? Do you have any idea?
Not much. Maybe like
Yeah?
A fish
for a
and
fillet, maybe $3 or $4,
bait.
something like that. Because a salmon fillet is fucking huge as it is.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the difference isn't much.
Yeah.
Versus like beef, you notice that. I mean, the difference with beef, it's like a couple bucks per pound, and typically you're getting a couple pounds, so it's like a solid 40% increase if you want something
Mhm.
that's getting sunshine, not rolling around in shit with its homies.
That's what I want.
Have you passed
Actually-
by where Dylan, the what's the big cattle producers in Florida, Triple J's or something like that? Do you know what I'm talking about? You see their trucks all the time on the interstate. It's got the
Yeah.
flames on it.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
You know what I'm
always see them
talking
up
about,
the
right?
Middle part of Florida. Yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot the name. They're never on the interstates. They're on like the side highways.
yeah,
got the names
yeah.
of them.
I've passed by one of their ranches or whatever. The smell is so bad. I mean, you can just smell it from the road. Like if you don't have the circulating air on, it's rough, dude.
Just smells like cow shit.
Well, Yeah, I've smelled plenty of cow shit up close, but I think when you have concentrated shit liqueur, it's got a certain je ne sais quoi that I don't appreciate.
Je ne sais quoi.
It shouldn't. I mean, most herbivores, they just their shit doesn't really stay. Dude, it's the hog barns. Those are the ones. Those are the ones that'll put you
I don't
down.
know. A paper mill smells like ass.
Yeah.
Paper mill smells like a paper mill. It's not great. It's not bad.
Great.
I mean, I was used to it. We used to go fishing in Florida by the bridge, and there was a paper mill, and it was always like that on Saturdays.
Perry,
I got pretty used to it.
You get up at 6 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. You'd be sitting in your stand, just paper mill.
You do get used to it though, don't you? I mean, after a couple minutes, you're like,
yeah. Now, if I just showed up in nature one day and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Like,
Johnny's making paper again.
Can you imagine working in a slaughterhouse though? That has got to be a rough job. Like being the ones that like maybe you're not killing the pig, but you're the first dude flaying it open, quartering it up and stuff. That's got to be a rough job.
Why?
Unless you're a fucking psychopath, and then in which case that might be like your ideal job.
Why? I
just feel like processing pigs is pretty intense. I don't know why, particularly for me. They're so human, you know?
Cut open, gut down the rib cage.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to some extent, I don't think you can have that mindset when you're doing it. I mean, yeah, I guess if that is your mindset, then yeah, it would be pretty horrible. Yeah,
a bad mindset. That guy goes, "I'm gonna eat tonight."
Like, yeah, this is fucking Jacob from my 5th grade high school class. You fucking payback.
He's putting
you get
bread
your
on
pork chop and it's got a couple jabs in it. You're like, I guess I missed a cut or two here.
Yeah. I mean, butchering animals certainly isn't for everybody, but yeah. I would imagine a lot of people doing that job. It wasn't really for them, but hey, man, you got to earn a living somehow. So,
yeah. Have you guys field dressed your own animals? Like killed an animal and then dressed it and ate it?
Yeah.
Nope. Never hunted. Done a lot of fishing, but never hunted.
Hogs smell awful when you're doing it. Yeah. Deer are not so bad. Deer still smell, but nowhere near as bad as a hog.
Deer, I feel like, I don't know. There's a certain reverence when you kill the deer and you like come up on it. You look it in the eye.
Yeah, you smear blood on your face, Colton.
Yeah, I like to make a holy cross.
Dip it in the wound and just
looks it dead in the eye. I
want it. Look at me. Look.
Once I kill it, that's when I start running.
You have an antler. I have a 30-06.
I just feel like some animals you're like, man, like that's why I want to get a permit and go elk hunting. Cause it's like, if you really are going to like harvest the animal, you know, like you go through the whole process, have a lot of respect and appreciation for it. Then it's like a connected to nature kind of thing versus getting this pink salmon bullshit or some fucking inflated GMO looking pork chop where you're like, oh, cool, shiny little package. Like you just don't appreciate. I feel like that. I think a lot of problems would be solved with the food industry if people had to at least once in their lifetime, if you wanted to eat a cow, you had to harvest your own cow at least once. Chicken, pig, the whole 9 yards. If you had to harvest that animal and really appreciate the fact that like it's giving its life force to you, I don't know. That's just my take. I think that people
ironically
wouldn't
probably
take it for
create
granted.
a lot more vegetarians that way. Which, if the vegetarians wanted to build their market a little bit more, they should do that and have 1 month of the purge.
Yeah, they should. They should send all the meat eaters to the re-education camp and have them fucking slaughter animals for a week.
This is how this is done.
Don't like a ton of fucking rabbits get jacked when they're harvesting vegetables? There's
just
like a bunch of
old knives.
And then you'd have psychopaths like us, and they're like, "Pow, man!"
Literally trying to set high scores, just running around with a hatchet. This is better than Disneyland.
I got 5 of them. Were you good? Vegetarians gonna have Secret Service. Get them out of here. Get them out of here.
It's
No,
not
I
the
just
one
like
we
to eat
wanted.
meat too much, man. I'd be willing to do anything. I just appreciate
best
the time we live in where I don't have to do it and someone else does it for me.
when we used to get a deer, we'd have a freezer full
Mm-hmm.
of like a deep freezer full of it. It was awesome. You just all year round, you had your meat for an entire year almost.
Yep.
It was great.
Yeah. I wonder how much longer. I really wonder how much longer. It's gonna be a weird thing to say, but I wonder how much longer like nature is gonna be nature kind of thing before the climate just gets so fucked where people aren't really able to hunt. There's not gonna be a ton of wild game. I don't think it's gonna be like anytime soon, but I mean, we are
I mean,
doing an
if it got to
amazing
that
job.
point, I think humans would be gone pretty quick. Nature could survive a lot better than us in that
I don't know.
instance.
I don't
We're in a
know.
very comfortable time at the moment. For
I
the
think
human.
I think something like that'll balance out. I mean, population density is already like dropping all across the world. Like we're kind of hitting that plateau to some extent. It's not like humankind is going to expand into the 19 billions of people on the planet. I don't know. Hopefully, it seems like we're going to hit that equilibrium before we totally fuck ourselves.
Why is that a thing that politicians are so worried about the population cratering?
Yeah, I mean, so the issue is the economy, because the number stops going up when you essentially have an aging population. That you're only going to hit like an inflection point. There's going to be like it's like with anything, there'll be a pain period. Whenever all the old people become way more than the younger people, but after that it'll balance back out, and then it'll just be normal. But everyone's afraid of hitting that point because you lose everything. You lose economic productivity. So you fall on the world stage in comparison to all the other countries. You lose population for war. You can't really put a whole bunch of old people on the front line. You have to have young population ready to do that, and you have to have enough to keep working while you're fighting a war. So there's just a lot of like economic.
I just don't
factors
see
that come
how
into play with
efficiency through innovation doesn't solve any of the metrics that would be measured for that.
that. Well, they could. No one's really I don't. Well, yeah, no one's. I mean, no one's really factoring that in. That's normally not even part of the conversation. It's just
That's what I
the
don't
number.
understand. Like
Yeah.
the 5-day work week, for instance, just an antiquated leftover thing from Ford and him and doing the fucking production line or whatever. So it's like how like happiness is now like a metric that companies are worried about trying. Some of the companies that have tried out, like there was a news article that I read about like some of the companies at the end of this year that moved to a 4-day or last year moved to a 4-day work week for this year are keeping it because their efficiency went up because their workers are happier.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand, like with AI, robotics, all the things that are enabling us to have a multiple of efficiency, why a population going down is a bad thing as long as output is still increasing, essentially.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's the key factor. Yes, I mean as long as that keeps increasing, it's fine. But
That's
yeah,
why they
I
don't want us to do
normally people
LSD.
don't take it further than that initial problem to actually like have that conversation.
So it really is a problem if people take LSD and realize like life isn't about work and they stop working less. Like that is a problem for the government.
Of course, it's always been a problem. They've known that for a long time. Mm-hmm.
But I like things too. So it's kind of a problem for me. Like if I don't have like cheap Chinese goods to be able to buy on Amazon, I'm not happy.
Well, cheap Chinese goods aren't really cheap Chinese goods anymore. The cost of living and the general income of the Chinese population has gone up so much. A lot of stuff's made in even cheaper companies or countries than them now. It's like Thailand and India. India is like the new wave of cheap manufacturing because the quality of life and life standards gone up so much in China. They're
That's a
already
shame.
kind of plateauing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still your cheap shit. Just change the tag. They just need to print a new tag. Same stuff. Same stuff.
That's a damn shame. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, really interested in the quality of living going somewhere. I don't know about up.
Or Pakistan. You got a lot coming out of Pakistan too.
I thought the only thing comes out of Pakistan is missiles.
No, that's where they go.
Dude, India, Pakistan's wild, dude. You ever seen that shit? The soldiers, they like fight on the borders with like sticks, to beat the shit out of each other, kill each other
Yeah.
with sticks. I don't know why. There's like a It's like an armistice is like a no arm zone. So they're like, yeah, but pole arms are okay. It's like, oh, we're going medieval, baby. Like
They're looking at each other, sharpening their sticks. Like, bitch,
yeah,
I'll
basically.
tell you what I don't understand is the Houthi situation. Like the Houthis wanting to come after, like getting in boats, trying to go after any American forces. I'm like, I can understand launching a couple missiles and thinking maybe you can run away before we return fire on those coordinates, but getting in a boat and heading towards a battleship or some shit or a merchant carrier that we're protecting. What's the logic?
They haven't done that to any. It's just cargo ships. I mean, they're all undefended for the most part.
Some of them are under our protection.
Well, they are, yeah, but I mean, we don't. Yeah, but the ocean's a really big place, right? So, like, normally, we put destroyers and stuff out there to intercept missiles. So, like, a destroyer can cover 300 kilometers, 400 kilometers of ocean with like anti-missile defense. So, whenever they see drones, they see anything flying through the air, they can shoot it down. But if they're trying to jack a cargo ship and this boat, this U.S. destroyer is, I don't know, 200 kilometers away, like you sail at what, 30 knots? It's going to take you 24 hours to get there. So, I mean, they can do a lot of damage.
That's what I was saying.
Hours.
I saw a video the other day of there was a boat, a Houthi vessel going after some cargo ships, and they saw it on the radar. They saw a couple of these guys coming in, so they radioed to the destroyer. And they're like, yeah, no problem. They dispatched a Black Hawk, and it came out there and
yeah, there we go.
Smoked them.
Rope down just in time, baby.
But they fired at it first. Like, that's the part I don't understand is that, like, you didn't have to shoot your AK. I mean, if I see that Black Hawk coming, I mean,
dude,
like,
you haven't heard the slogan? Death to the infidels, death to the Jews, death to America. How do you think they're going to get the death part done if they don't fire the AK? That's the whole point. They're ready to die in glorious combat. I mean, it's no fun if they don't shoot. I mean, think about it.
Might be a stupid question, but those windows are going to be bulletproof on that bad boy, right?
On a Black
Hawk?
Hawk?
Have
I actually don't know if they're bullet resistant at all. I mean, it would just be small arms. You could absolutely shoot through a cockpit window with an AK, 100%.
That'd be a hell of a trick shot.
100%. I mean, it's less of a trick shot, more of a spray and pray. I mean,
well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but I mean, imagine that would come out after he did that. I mean,
dude, they were shooting down Blackhawks with RPGs in Mogadishu, man. Imagine that. Somebody was having a good old fucking time.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever read the story on that whole thing, but that was a crazy couple days for U.S. military, man. They just got super cocksure. They thought they could do whatever they wanted. They were like, yeah, they can't offer any resistance to us, so they got real lazy. These guys planned out everything. They were like, yep, they're going to come in from here. They practiced shooting down helicopters with RPGs. They were like, yep, you got to lead it just like this. And they shot down multiple, man. That's what
Yeah, I watched the movie and then watched a documentary with like some of the real people in it. And that's, I mean, at that point, you're just so comfortable. You're already understanding, like, you're dying. You're like, I'm just going to see how many of these guys I can take out before I go.
I mean, what else do you do? Give up? Fuck that. I still got ammo, baby. Like,
that's also the other, like, crazy part to think about is, like, you know, you go paintballing and you're like, oh no, I'm out of paintballs. You fall out of a fucking helicopter and you're trying to defend your buddy from dying. And you're like, I have 4 clips. He has 3. He can't shoot. So we have 7 clips. We got 7 times, 50 bullets. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's what I have to live.
Should have paid attention during training. Damn it.
I mean, that's not bad. I mean, normally firefights are pretty extended. You actually don't burn through ammo that fast in a firefight. I mean, it'd be 30 in a mag for an assault rifle, or 20 if it's like a marksman rifle. Probably an assault rifle, so it'd be like 210 rounds. 210 rounds, that's 210 kills, baby.
Yeah.
No. I mean, 150 if you're good, dude, they killed a lot. I don't know. Have you seen the numbers? They actually did put down, like, it was like what was it? It was like a team of 10, I think, defending, and I think the reported numbers were like 300 hostiles. It was insane. Yeah, they were putting up some numbers, boy.
I need another drink for this. Damn.
But I mean, it's high-fiving each other. Dude, high score. It's like, yeah, let's try and stay alive. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, the issue is you've got trained special forces versus irregulars. They're just irregulars. They're not army. They're not. I mean, there's
Yeah.
barely any training. They're all hyped. Some of them are only going to have small arms like pistols. Some of them are going to be unarmed. They're going to be carrying like melee weapons like bats and clubs and that type shit. No body armor. Right? I mean, they're not. Yeah, they're pretty easy to put down.
But they weren't with that particular case, Black Hawk Down. They weren't moving too many locations, right? They were mainly defending like one position, right?
There were a couple different. Well, there was quite a lot of different contact that went on. There was the convoy that tried to get them out. There was the convoy that was on the way out of the city. There were the people who tried to come in later, and then there was the initial team that got put down, and then there was the team that fell in the helicopter. So all of those guys all were in different contact. The ones who crashed, they pretty much held the same place. I think they fought from some buildings around there. Because I mean, you're not just gonna stay like out in the open, but yeah, it was mostly defense at that point. Because I mean, the issue in a city like that, anybody could shoot you from literally anywhere, so you can't really be out on the street, and you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. You know what I mean? It's like that guy. That's the guy we want to kill. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, have you seen anybody around here about yay tall, helmet, camouflage, assault rifle, beard?
I like watching. There's a podcast where a guy who used to serve, he has a lot of service members on, and some of them are kind of out there where you're like, I don't know. And then sometimes, this is just kind of my jaded perspective, they have some guys come on there that just like, they talk like they've seen some shit where you can just tell like, hey, he's not trying to showboat. He's just, telling some stories or whatever. And you're like, God damn, dude, you went through that. Like that was real. Like you've killed dozens of people. That's intense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it doesn't really get much more intense than that. I mean, especially when you're in some of those situations fighting for your life. It's it's like do or die,
What was that really intense battle in World War I? The meat grinder. Do you remember what I'm talking about? It was like several 100,000 people died in a month.
Yeah, I think that was just trench warfare. That was the whole thing, bro. that was the whole thing. Dude, that was some ridiculous. Dude, you think the Civil War was
the Battle
bad?
of Verdun.
Yeah.
In the 303 days of this so-called meat grinder, close to 750,000 men died.
But I mean, yeah, that's just trench warfare though. There wasn't really any like essential fights like we would think of them. They were just holding positions and they would just constantly charge into each other, which was absolutely fucking retarded.
I just remember seeing the picture of like the mountain of shells that they were sending into this one particular area, and it was wild. That's what the movie All Quiet on the Western Front or whatever is based off of.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah,
that's a good movie.
Why can't we get more of those? That is like pinnacle of what I'm looking for.
Good movies are hard to come by.
Give me more good war movies.
Did you guys watch Napoleon? You seen that one yet?
Not yet.
No, I heard it wasn't very historically accurate.
I don't give a fuck. It was a good movie.
It's a documentary. What do you mean you don't give a fuck? Fuck
it's
that.
A documentary.
Yeah, 100%.
That's not a documentary. That was cinema as cinema gets. Bruh. Special effects in a documentary.
Oh well, no, it's
documentary
like
about UFOs. It's Napoleon.
What would it be? No, it's like a character biopic or something like that. It's supposed to be a historical film. It's not supposed to be overly dramatized. And if they do historical facts wrong, then like, what is it? What's the point?
Okay, so all of a sudden, Forrest Gump's a documentary.
Definitely not. Calm down. Chill. Hey, it should be though. It should be. The world would be a better place if it was. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I actually said the wrong movie. I was thinking of Saving Private Ryan. I just couldn't quite get it lined up.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. But that's a little bit different.
Fucking how? How?
And hey, shit. For all we know, it was a documentary. I mean, goddamn. I think the beach.
Hacksaw Ridge. Is Hacksaw Ridge a documentary?
That was another really good movie. Yeah, dude. There's a lot of really good. It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
What is this? A place for ants? Come on.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah, I mean, when I heard about it, I was just expecting something that would be like true to the historical, because Napoleon's story
too.
is really really dope. I mean,
Yeah.
whenever we were in high school learning about him, I thought it was just funny. Everyone made the joke about him being short and like had something to prove, but like that man like united like half of you. He was like Alexander the Great, essentially. Just fucking went to war with everybody, told everyone to go fuck themselves, went all the way down to Egypt, conquered that shit. Like, I mean, just like just riding around on a horse, balling out. I mean, dude, the what got me, I saw one of the paintings in the whenever I was in Rome of Napoleon in Egypt in front of the Sphinx. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, what's he doing there?
What in tarnation?
It blows me away, man. These people back in the day, they were like, yeah, I don't know, dude, let's go down to the desert and fucking show these people what Western civilization looks like. Come on, man.
Amazing is they made it there, and I still haven't made it that side of the world with today's technology.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, let's just ride down there.
Yeah, exactly.
I had a chance to go to Egypt, and that was right about when their protests or civil war or something was popping off.
Is it the
And
Red
so I
Sun?
think-
Time to go. Pretty cheap.
No, they were actually like, if you were an American and you wanted to go, it wasn't just, are you sure? They were like, no, you need a reason, because we don't want to send resources in to get you
You need
out.
a gun. You're like, well, I got plenty of those. So let's go.
I'm pretty sure they sell them as like trinkets by the pyramid.
That was that was whenever they overthrew Gaddafi, whenever they killed their leader. That shit, it was a wild time in Egypt. Oh, and also they were like killing. Yeah, the government was killing protesters in the streets willy nilly, which is why the dictator got killed. But
That's the best way to handle them. You know, if we've learned anything from Putin.
literally never. No, once you start killing innocent civilians, normally, I mean, unless you're China got away with it. But most other...
galvanize the resistance, find them, smoke them out, dude. Smoke them out. You know, you want your freedom? I'll fucking give you everlasting peace.
Yeah, I guess they did. They did smoke them out. They went to Taiwan and made a new country.
That's why the war on drugs is won.
Oh, is that what you
What?
heard?
Yeah. Smoke out the resistance. That's why the drug leaders smoked out the resistance.
I see what you did there.
There we go. There we go.
I am. What are the drug laws like in Spain, Austin?
Don't do them.
Pretty lax. You can go. You can find places to smoke weed. They call them coffee shops. I don't really know how they work. I'm pretty sure you go in, you pay some money, and you get to smoke whatever. They're not necessarily legal, but they also like can't shut them down.
How do you not know how these work yet? You don't go to the coffee shops?
Why would I? It's like a tourist thing. It's
Have
like a
an
tourist
interesting
thing.
conversation?
It's a bunch of Nigerians on the street, and they're all like coffee shop, coffee shop, coffee shop. Especially when they hear you speak English, they're like, yeah, oh yeah, fuck yeah, this guy.
There's
It's
the money
just-
bags we're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that's a little sketchy. Like, I don't really care. I've smoked weed before. It's not like a new experience. Like, who gives a shit? It's probably gonna be
Well,
some.
you should lace
shit.
it. That'll be a new
Awesome.
experience.
Like,
Yeah, I
when they're
don't
like
need-
coffee
I don't
shop,
need-
pop shop, just look at them back and be like, LSD? What?
Yeah, man. I don't need weed from sketchy immigrants. It's shrooms are legal. You can grow weed. As long as it's not visible to the public. So you can have like 2 weed plants, I think.
Mm,
Yeah, pretty chill.
that's nice.
Yeah, they have shops. You
your
can go
own.
buy seeds, stuff like that. But you can't like go to a weed store. It's not like Colorado or anything like that. Unfortunately, that would be nice, but
So you
Whatever.
growing any weed? Growing any plants?
nah.
Not that the
no,
government's listening.
No, it does with never. It's funny, man. We have some neighbors that live above us, and they'll smoke weed at night. And normally we leave the window. Actually, every night we leave the window open. And she gets so upset. She thinks that weed smells worse than tobacco, than cigarettes. I know, right? Yeah, trust me, I know.
I mean, some straight up tobacco, like in college when you hit that pipe. By the way, I've been
Oh,
dying to ask you this question. Do you still have that lighter? The red one?
I did when I moved here. I think it broke. I think it broke.
Okay.
It broke. Yeah, it finally broke. It finally just stopped
Alright.
producing flame, so I threw it away.
Fair enough.
Which is very sad. But it made it a long
The
time.
pipe tobacco you used to get in college, like I actually think that smells good.
It smells great.
Not,
Yeah,
not
when
like
it's not treated with a bunch
strong
of
in your
chemicals.
face, but if you just get a hint of that, it
Yeah.
smells pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same with marijuana, right? I mean, it's just a plant. Normally has like some sort of aroma that's slightly pleasant. I think
Yeah.
both smell good unburnt, and whenever they burn, they release some of that stuff before they get too burnt, and then it's just
At some
toxic
point in my
byproduct.
life, incense has not been. I don't know. It's like I don't really like the smell of incense anymore. The little incense sticks, you know.
Yeah. My neighbors were actually burning some of that the other day, and I smelled it for the first time in a long time. Every time I smell it, I'm like, God, they're just so nice. But I've never had any myself.
I like it when I'm at festivals or someone's other's house, and I'm like,
I
"That's
think
a
I
nice
like if
smell."
it's diffused enough. Like you like
Yeah.
at a festival, it's good because it's like it's an air enhancer. But when I'm in a space and it's just got like incense, I'm like, man, this is kind of a lot.
Yeah, that's
Ugh.
true. Yeah, normally I smell it in passing, and I think that's where it's best. Yeah.
Like a cheap hooker's perfume.
Or Austin, isn't there a time of the day when all the hookers come out in Spain? You're not supposed to, like, everyone takes like a break at this, like everyone goes out as a nap time or something during the workday,
What does that have to
Fiesta?
do with hookers?
because that's when a lot of the hookers and stuff come out. I've heard.
How many hookers do you have on payroll? That's what we're trying to get to.
Yeah,
I haven't seen
his thing was
any
hiking shoes.
streetwalkers anywhere.
Streetwalkers.
Prostitution is
Daywalkers.
legal though. I'm pretty sure.
And you haven't. Seen... That's
It
what I'm
should be
talking
legal.
about.
It's a crying shame that it's not.
Yeah, it's legal, but it's one of those things that the legislation isn't exactly where it needs to be, and they don't really get the protections that they should have. So it's one of those political topics. But at the same time, no one really like. There's not the political will to like do all that much about it because it's like one of those subjects that it's like one of those things they just like allow to happen, but no one really likes it, kind of thing. Yeah.
So you live in Barcelona, and there's Catalonia, and then
Catalunya, yeah.
How did you say it?
Lunya. It's like a L-U-Y.
Catalunya.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've always said it incorrect. So Catalunya.
Yeah. I might be saying it wrong, actually. It could be Catalonia. It could be Catalunya. I don't know.
Okay.
Don't take my word for it.
So what's that all about? Like them wanting like to be independent, or is that like a political party?
Yeah, it's actually hilarious because it's always a thing and it's always been a thing. Yeah, so I think 2 years before I came here, so like 2019 maybe, they had the president of the region, which is Catalonia. There's like an autonomous regions. You could think of them like states in Spain, but they have more authority to do whatever the hell they want. Their president, each one has a president instead of like a governor, decided to hold a referendum illegally to secede from all of Spain. And I think the vote was successful, maybe. There's a huge independence movement, a huge separatist movement in the region. They just have like this national identity like that goes back very, very far from when Spain used to be made up of separate kingdoms, and then it was united under the Castilian flag. And that carries forward to today. There's more in this city. You'll see more flags of the region than you would of Spanish flags. It's actually really uncommon to see a Spanish flag anywhere, unless it's on a government building, and that's about it. People don't have
You need to be like
that.
their consultant. You need to be like their consultant. You're like, I know what I'm doing. I come from.
Oh, dude, you
came
can't
from where we're
reason
trying to
with these
get to.
people though, man. I mean, I understand it. So like, it's interesting because they have their own language, and everyone learns it in school. I think their first like 8 years in school is all in the local language, and then they learn Spanish later on at some point, and then maybe English as well. But dude, the people who like seriously want independence from Spain are retarded. They're retarded. It's just like with Brexit. None of it makes sense. These people haven't thought through literally anything, and if they have, they don't know anything, and they can't think through it. You can't just like, well, how would that work? So So it would no longer be part of Spain. It would no longer it would be bordered by France and Spain, which is no longer its country anymore. It would have to open trade agreements with all these countries. It wouldn't be part of the European Union anymore. And the European Union already showed what happens when people exit. They wouldn't let them in. So now they're going to, because the whole issue is they cry and complain about having to send all this money to the national government because this region makes a lot of money from tourism because it's awesome in terms of weather. It's like Florida. And some other regions are more poor, but like that's just how it is. It would be like if California was like, oh yeah, let's secede because we just make so much money and all these other states are dragging us down kind of thing.
Yeah, but everyone would appreciate that here, honestly.
What?
Let them secede.
Yeah.
Like, well,
Dude, that
you
would be
can-
ridiculous. Do you know how much GDP you'd be giving up for that? That'd be retarded.
It's
You would
moved
never
to
let
all
them
the other
leave.
states.
No, send in the army, dude. Never let them secede. Fuck that.
It is like the
You realize-
13th
I think
largest GDP in the world. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
they made that money off the back of everything else. They only got that rich because the rest of America was backing them up. I mean, to some extent, like you can't just have like portions of your country like get upset and just
You
like
haven't
cut
seen
themselves
California
off.
in a
It's just
while.
dumb. It's wild, dude. It's wild.
You haven't seen California in a while. A lot of people moved to Austin and Florida from California. That
Well, I mean,
place
yeah,
is
to some
going-
extent, yeah. There's some flight because taxes are super high, but they still have if you by GDP, if you measure them against other countries, they're still like number 7 in the whole fucking world. Who cares if people
Yeah.
move away? They don't give a shit. They're raking in mad money. The U.S. government doesn't fucking care. Let people move out. They're just too poor to live there.
Well, it's the
I
rich
get-
people moving out.
That is like a really good example of kind of probably the exact same thing that's happening, right? Like the perception of identity versus like once you get under the hood and it's like, okay, like if you really wanted to be your own thing, like a weird one would be Texas, because Texas is all about independence, like infrastructurally set up, resource wise, they produce a ton of resources. So I think there's kind of like an argument for Texas wanting to succeed, where they're like, we don't really need too much. Like you guys are already letting people just pour over the border. So like that's where the whole independence thing gets kind of interesting. There is where they're like, yeah, we could be our own country.
They would have the same issue. Then Texas has to fund its own national defense. You have to do trade, and then how does that work? If you wanna cross from any other state into Texas, you have to go through like a border, and like how does that work? Would people from Texas be freely allowed into the United States at all? Would there be some sort of
No.
trade across the border? Everything now has to go through a border, so it would be like trade being shipped in from Canada. So all of a sudden you have all these tariffs and import taxes and this nonsense, and you got to have this infrastructure to like vet everything. Like, yeah, it fucks everything. It fucks everything. If you want to see what that looks like, you can just look at Brexit. And that's to some extent less because all they did was leave a trade union. They didn't actually leave a country that they were a part of. It just doesn't work. Like when the rubber meets the road, it's one of those things that sounds like a great idea. And everybody wants to be independent and do their own thing. But I think the issue is that people get too focused on the things that make them different, and they forget about the things that make them whole. You know, people in Texas are way more closely aligned with people in New York than they think they are, especially when you start looking at the rest of the world, other countries, other groups of people, other cultures. Yeah, I think people just get too fixated on the divisions and not enough on the things that unite them.
At the end of the day, we're all cats and dogs. We lick our own ass.
And flowers. What?
Yeah.
If you could be a cat or a dog, I want to be a flower. The fuck is wrong with you?
Of course you do, you dainty.
I'm gonna piss on that flower.
You don't like flowers? None of y'all like flowers, huh?
I'm more of a poison ivy guy myself, honestly.
Sure, that's a flower. It's got flowers on it.
Does it? I don't think
No,
it
it
does.
Mm,
It's an ivy, bro.
what is an ivy? What is an ivy? You want to give me the genus and the
Poison.
phylum for that? Who cares if it's poison? Lots of things are poison. Water's poison if you drink too much of it. What the fuck does that mean?
No, actually, that's a good point, because I did grow some ivies. They're dead now. I grew them for a little bit, but they were supposed to bloom. So,
Okay.
I know what
Yeah.
poor guys didn't make it through the winter.
I was just a weed. That's all it is. It don't
Why
have
were you, well, yeah,
flowers.
but weeds have flowers. Why were you growing?
All plants are technically weeds. I learned that.
It's
A
true.
weed is just a plant you don't want.
True. A pest.
And who
if
wants
you will.
flowers?
Dylan, do you remember that tree in my backyard as we were like shoveling the dirt or whatever, the one on the right wasn't huge, but it wasn't the starfruit tree.
Right one?
The back right.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That was a giant weed.
That was just a giant weed plant?
Giant weed.
Or just a giant weed?
I had a landscaper dude come over when he was quoting me on the sod or whatever, and he was like, "Did you plant that?" I was like, "No, dude, I just bought the house." And he was like, "I've never seen that big." I'm like, "What is it?" And he goes, "Dude, that's just a weed." I was like, "No, that's a tree." And he was like, "Yeah, dude, that's just a weed that grew into a tree."
And you're like, "Oh shit."
I'm like, "It looks pretty." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "No, I'm impressed." He's like, "Does it do anything?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's got like little white petals that come off of it." He's like, "Wild. Been doing this a long time. I've never seen that."
Hey, for the record, poison ivy has flowers, and it flowers in the spring, summer, fall, and winter. They're small, white.
Hey, for the record, you're wrong. Just go ahead and accept it. You're wrong.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all right.
It's all right. The rest of the world disagrees with you, but that's okay.
Look at that. It does have little tiny flowers. I never knew that.
Yeah.
I just look at it from 3. They do have little tiny. That's crazy.
I've never known poison ivy to have little.
Neither have I.
Pretty petals.
It must be a short time period. They just come and go. But wow.
The rest of the time, they're just sitting there mad about something. That's what I feel like they're doing. Just stewing.
Like, come touch me. Come touch me. Watch
Just
touch me, bitch.
Cankerous old plant. You know, like
oil all over your ass.
Yeah. It's like, dude, I get it. You didn't want to be touched. I didn't want to touch you. It's like, well, fuck you. How about that? Enjoy that rash.
That's what you get. That's what you get. If I look at poison ivy wrong, it gets on me. I don't know what I ever did to it in life, but as soon as I look at it, just...
I've seen certain people have phobias that are not as strong as your fear and respect of poison ivy.
I respect the shit out of it. I stay a distance away from that thing. I don't know what that's about. There's just a couple times in my life, and there's a couple times in my life I forgot. And then it goes on to remind me very quickly. Like, nah, bitch, I'm in control of this world, not you.
You step outside your house, you're like, hey. Dude, remember when I see that picture? I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about propagating this vine. And I sent it to you and my mom. And at the same time, you guys text me back and you're like, I think that's poison ivy, man.
Like, I wouldn't propagate it too long if I were you.
I was talking to my brother because we're going to put in sod in the next couple of weeks. And I was looking for ways to kill all the grass and all the weeds. I mowed my backyard this weekend. There were weeds knee high and surprisingly smelled super great when I mowed the lawn. Like, they put out awesome fragrance. I was mowing it. But it's mostly a giant weed patch. The only easy way to kill your entire lawn is glyphosate. Like, that's what it all kind of comes back to. They're like, you can till it and then rake it. You might have to do that a couple times or whatever. But the answer all kind of comes back to glyphosate. They're like, if you really want to kill everything, like, this is it's gonna fuck the environment, but this will get the job done.
Who cares about that, right?
Yeah,
Not when it comes to my particular piece of environment right here, this plot of environment.
I got worms. I'm proud. I got worms. I got biodiversity happening in the soil now. I'm cool. I'm not trying to nuke everything. So, long story short, I'm probably going to Home Depot and hire some help. Get them to
I hired some help to redo all my trim around the house yesterday.
Did you?
Great. Yeah. All my window trim and the lower part around the trim around the house. Mm-hmm. I got it all done yesterday. It was great.
Where'd you get it from?
What, the trim or them?
The help.
They're not from Home Depot, but they're not contractors. So they're like a higher tier, than Home Depot, I guess.
Where
There's
did you
one guy
logistically find them though? Was it through a friend?
It was someone post. I just went to my neighborhood's Facebook group and I was like trim, and someone had a number and Juan's name. That sounds like the guy to do it.
I was talking to my neighbor about the sod, and he was like, let me know, man. He's Mexican. He's like, let me know, man. I got some homies. And I was like, cool, dude. He's like, get a price. Basically, he told me get a price and then bring that price to me. And I got some dudes that can help you out and they'll get it done for a lot cheaper. It's just like know where the benchmark is so you know what it's going to cost because I had an electrical dude come out and it's like I'm paying the business $250 for 2 hours, but he's probably paying this guy like 30, $40 an hour kind of deal, you know? So before the guy left, he was like, hey, you can hire the company again or here's my number. He's like, your call. I'm like, well, it was bad for business, but good for me. So
Great for you.
yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Do you guys have many immigrants in Spain?
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's like the connotation? Is it like?
I mean, it's
welcome?
Barcelona, so it's a pretty international city. I mean, there's a lot of people from all over. There's a lot of Asians in particular in my neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah, we have an Asian store right beside my. Like, I walk to the left, it's like 3 feet. Just full Asian supermarket. It's the greatest thing ever, baby. I ran out of oyster sauce, soy sauce, pasta, dude. I'm right there. I love it.
As one has a big need for oyster sauce.
No, for real. If you've never used oyster sauce, it's awesome. It's basically umami in a bottle. It's delicious. It's super delicious. It's so if you ever have fried rice, the thing that makes fried rice so good is soy sauce, oyster sauce, and that's it. Oh, and MSG. If you're really having a good time.
We use liquid aminos, coconut aminos instead of soy sauce. Typically, I don't know if you tried that.
God, that sounds so boring. What? Why would you do that?
I just spit on it.
Okay, first off, both of those remarks are unhinged. Okay.
No, they're not. No. So, I mean, the particular thing that makes soy sauce so great, it's a magical art. It carried forward through time.
Are you growing titties yet? How much soy sauce do you eat?
Soy sauce? What do you? It's not soy milk.
How much soy do you
soy
eat?
sauce. It's soy sauce. It's a fermented product. It's fermented soybean. Do you know what that does to flavors? You know what flavors are, right, Colton? I don't want my rice to taste like fucking coconut, okay? Jesus, what is wrong with you? Where'd you even get that idea?
It doesn't taste like fucking coconut.
All right,
I'm
so
sorry,
you took
better
this. You
for
took
you,
this fucking.
fuckface.
I don't give a fuck. You took this coconut amino acid. Who sold you this shit? Where did you go? And they were like, "Oh,
It does taste really good. It does taste really good.
That sounds
Yeah.
like a Brazil
Okay.
thing.
Well, hey, you know what? As long as you're happy. But
But
I
I'm
just
trying to improve your health, dude. Go get some diabetes or something.
Oh,
Jesus.
fuck you, dude. You know how much animal fat I use every day? Dude, I fry my
What?
eggs in
What?
animal fat. Fuck you.
Animal fat? What kind of fat?
Pig
Like
fat.
butter?
Pig fat.
Pig fat. That's fucking wild, actually.
Yeah.
That's
It's great.
taking it back,
Super great.
dude.
Yep.
Just good old fashioned lard.
Yeah. Because
Do
when
you,
I make
do you-
when I make
do
the
you
fried rice, I
process the
do
lard?
bacon, but it's mostly bacon without a whole lot of fat on it. They sell bacon in like a rectangle, so I have to like cut it myself. It normally doesn't have as much fat on it as like thin trimmed bacon in the U.S. supermarket. So
Do
then
you
I just
render the
add
fat?
when you say render it, what do you mean? From like meat, from like a pancetta, or like
No,
a...
so like when you collect that fat, if you put it in like a mason jar and pour water in it, the impurities will go to the bottom. So if you do that a couple times, you'll get pure rendered fat without any of the flavorings and some of like the crusty pieces. When you add, if you're just doing the fat currently, some of that stuff will burn. So if you render it, it'll just give you the pure fat.
Yeah. So you mean like if you're doing like bacon or something like that, and you're like draining the fat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, they sell a container of pig fat in the supermarket for like €1.50. It's fucking great.
Yeah,
I
I'm
get
sure
a
those are real
spoon.
happy pigs.
I'm sure they're super fucking happy. You know who is happy? Me, whenever I'm spooning that pig fat into my wok.
I'm sure you eat it straight to the mouth. I'm sure you take that tub to the face, knowing you, dude.
Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff.
We just started shopping at Costco again.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot how unreasonably large the quantities are from
Huge,
Costco.
massive.
Because you're just looking at the stuff, you're like, oh, we need broccoli. And it throws you off because it's $7. And then it shows up with these like this massive 3-gallon bag of broccoli. You're like, now I have a storage issue.
Didn't know you wanted a bucket of broccoli, but you got it.
every time the Instacart people bring it, they have the giant cardboard containers. And I'm like, I ordered 4 things, dude.
Yeah, I do buy it in bulk. It's how you get stuff cheap, man. That's just how it works. Yeah.
Do you guys have stuff like Costco, like American, way too much oversized stuff over there?
No.
Not really?
No.
Oh. Trade-offs.
Do you have anything good over there? Like,
dude, everything is good. I mean, first off, everything's cheap as shit, dude. I mean, I could go fill up a whole shopping cart full of fruit for like $20.
oh, I bet. Yeah.
Um,
Not talk to anyone.
Yeah, I mean, dude, bread. Go to the bakery, get fresh bread, dude, all the time,
Ooh,
all
that's
the
gotta be
time.
nice.
You want toast in the morning? I put my flip flops on. I walk around the fucking corner, and I get some fresh bread for my toast, baby, and then I toast that shit.
And you guys don't have that stuff in your wheat over there, right? I forget what it's called, but like all of our wheat products here have some kind of not preservative, but some kind of additive in it. Because a lot of Europeans eat a ton of bread and look vastly different than Americans. And it's not like bread's the only thing contributing to that factor. But
MSG.
Well, I mean, you say in wheat, like there's normally not. You're normally. I mean, because like sandwich bread in like the supermarket is not like. It's mostly sugar, and if you get
the wheat over here has definitely been altered comparative to what it is on the other side of the world for sure.
Yeah,
it's been on the news and everything. I just don't
really.
I don't know what
I'd
it is.
I'd be interested in seeing more about that.
That's why a lot of people when they go to Italy, people will be like, "I ate tons of pasta and I still feel fine."
Yeah,
or they'll say they even lost weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fact. American wheat is higher in gluten. Europe. Majority of wheat is soft wheat, lower in proteins and lower in gluten content.
It's because get it from Wisconsin.
That's a big thing I noticed. Like when I was traveling through Europe, like all the pasta, I didn't feel like heavy after I ate it. Like a little bit, but not like I gotta go take a nap kind of thing.
So is gluten like glucose? Is it like a sugar? Or I actually don't know what the fuck gluten actually is besides something.
Starting to get into deep water, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna assume not. Otherwise, they would call it glucose. But I don't know.
Gluconian.
Yeah, it's a protein found in grains, wheat, barley, and rye.
I like
gluten
protein.
acts as a binder.
We know that.
What exactly is gluten?
Dude, it's that word everyone knows about. Everyone's heard it, but nobody knows what the fuck it is.
Yeah, when you start asking questions, people get triggered, man. Me included. I'm like, I don't know.
That's how you get the government at your door.
Asking too many questions. Listen to that last podcast, boys. Y'all need to calm it down.
We're the gluten cops.
I'm a big fan of gluten, though. What about countries? What countries have you been to now you've been living over there?
I've been to Sweden, been across the border to France. I've been to Italy, I've been to Greece. And we also went to Malta.
Do you instantly feel more cultured than all of them? Do you let them know how much more important you are because you're an American, or how's that work?
Definitely not. No, I go and I try to enjoy the cultures that are there. Oh, we also went to Morocco as well. Yeah, dude, that place was fucking wild.
Yeah,
Morocco.
That dude, yeah, we went to Marrakesh, man. It really, dude, it's like what you see in the movies in like a James Bond movie when they end up in like somewhere and there's like markets everywhere and they're like fighting through the crowds and fucking mopeds and scooters and shit, like almost hitting people. It's crazy, man. No crosswalks. I never saw a crosswalk in that whole fucking city. Like it's just people crossing like 16 lanes of traffic. No, they don't wait for lights. There are no lights, so you just fucking go. It's so crazy.
Dang.
Did you ride a camel?
No, we were in the desert, the rocky desert, not the sandy desert, unfortunately. But yeah, there were camels and 4-wheelers and everything. I didn't want to do any of that shit. I didn't get it.
Oh yeah, that's fun. Fuck that. Yeah, let's go find a crosswalk.
This
try
is too
and
much
get
like
across
Tennessee.
traffic.
Yeah, let's not do that again. I almost blew up my face with fireworks. I don't want to do that again.
No. You don't understand. So like we went out to this like resort where we like stayed in tents and stuff out in the desert. They had like a pool, alcohol, fucking tea.
A pool
Oh my
in the
god,
desert.
dude. Yeah.
How's that work?
Yeah. Well, it's a hole of water in the ground, right? And trust me, I was
Oh, yeah?
staring at it, and then I would look out at the desert and the mountains, and then I would look at this crystal blue pool, and then I would look out at the desert and the mountains, and I'm like, why is this here? Like something's wrong about this picture.
I was just picturing some dude standing next to a camel. It's like, here's a pool, and just pulls out a canteen, just dumps some water in the sand. It's just like, check it out. It's
But
pretty cool.
yeah, it was like a 40-minute drive down like a one-way road. It's like barely big enough for a car. Beat to shit. And all down this road is essentially all these businesses where they take out tourists and they put them on camels and they put them on four-wheelers. But it's not like
You
cool.
didn't do that?
No, dude, you're not having fun. You're like in the little.
What part of that doesn't sound fun?
Yeah, look, I know because you haven't seen. Okay, you're in the little squad with the rest of the other people who paid like way more than they needed to ride these four-wheelers, and you just have to ride along behind everybody. You don't just get to like cut it and go do whatever the hell you want. Okay, this isn't this isn't the farm, boys. This is
They didn't do
this
what I
is the
did in
tourist
Vegas.
attraction. Okay, all right,
They
let's
don't do
ride
that
in the
in
desert.
Vegas.
We're okay, 40 miles an hour. Follow the leader, type shit. You know what I mean? Like fuck that, dude.
I got it in Vegas. We were doing the falling
Yeah.
other direction.
We did the Can-Am whatever off-road experience in Vegas in the desert. We were like, oh, follow the leader. At some point, Dylan lost the leader, and he just went in his
I
own.
went and did my own thing.
How do you
Thing
lose a
across
leader
the-
in the desert?
Well, honestly, they lost me. They just
Yeah.
took off because I was waiting for someone to strap up because one of their Can-Ams broke down, waiting to get in, and then the guy just took off while I'm still waiting for the people to buckle up. Then I couldn't find him, and I was like, I'm just gonna go jump whatever I want out here. I
Like,
passed
where's
by another
Dylan? You
group.
turn around, he's like ramping through the sky, like jumping
I
hills.
passed by another group thinking, oh, that leader will probably stop me. Nah, that guy's like, nah, we're good. You just do whatever you want. Our leaders were definitely cracked out or something. Like they didn't
Yeah.
give two shits at all.
And once they told us, where they messed up too is they told us ahead of time, because the first time I had Can-Ams in Sedona, I was under the assumption it came with insurance. I was 100% in my bones certain it came with insurance. I didn't find out until Michael was in one, and they flipped it 3 times. And they're like, yeah, we'll bring you another. We'll just settle up back at the shop. And I was like, what does that mean? Figured out, oh, they had to pay $3,000 for the roll cage and whatnot. So when we went to Vegas, that was one of the things I asked ahead of time. And they were like, yeah, but it's not a big deal. You know, like you break a rim off, it would be like $300. I was like, you're telling me if I rip the wheel off of this, you're going to charge me about $300. Like most is maybe $500. We paid like $350 per ticket to do like a 45-minute ride. So I was like, okay. So here's follow the leader on the trail. And I was like, as long as we're going that direction, I guess
not
that's
a fucking
okay.
challenge, Colton.
It did turn into that for sure. It turned
Dylan
into
and I
that
the whole
real-
time were off the trail, just going up and down the side.
It's like Colton was walking out of the lobby, counting 300 out of his wallet, just threw it up in the air and fucking strapped the helmet on. I was like, let's go.
There's
Dude,
an advantage.
Dylan and I were seeking out every rock we could find. We're like, we think it can go over that. Let's
I'm
try
like,
it out.
I don't know what's on the other side of that hill, and that's what I want.
Yeah.
There could be bodies over there. I don't know. Vroom.
There was a couple of those moments. That's
was
cool,
perfect.
man. Sounds like you've had a chance to go to a bunch of cool countries and do stuff. I mean, that's the nice part about being over there is that you can go like a couple hours and it's kind of like a whole nother culture, right?
Yeah, or $30-$40 for a plane ticket. And everywhere, I mean, places are just really cheap to stay for the most part. It's just nice. I mean, you get a lot more freedom than you would think, which is.
Are you getting
Big thing.
paid? Are you working for an American company while you're there?
No, it's they're part of the Dover group. I think Dover is an American group, but no.
So you get
the
paid in
company's
American
Market
dollars?
Homage. They're like a hybrid from a French company and an American company. They like joined like early 2000s or something like that.
You get paid in American dollars?
No, it's
then?
euros. Oh, it's euros. Yeah,
Or euros? You get paid in euros? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Nice.
yeah. My whole a lot of the documents and stuff I was signing for work were like all in Spanish, and I was like, do I care? I was like, no, not really. So I was like, what? I mean, Normally, I'm
Sure
like
made
a
the
read a
trip.
document kind of guy, but I just,
Yeah.
I just don't fucking care enough.
I'm gonna remember that at the next music festival. Austin, you just sign that. It's just in Spanish. just sign that. Don't worry about it.
Hey, Austin, what do you think the chances that what do you think the chances we could rope you into Burning Man?
Oh, that's literally never happening. That's never happened, dude.
Why?
I'm poor
What?
European, dude. You don't, dude.
What if we pay for your ticket?
You get your plane ticket and you get over here.
What if we pay for everything else?
Dude, I don't even. I mean, dude, how much can I get a plane ticket for? Jesus, it's gonna be like
$800. I already looked it up. $850.
You ain't buying weed, so we know you have money. You an Asian
fly
shop,
right into Reno.
so you're already going as cheap as possible.
That by the way, that's from Barcelona to Reno, and that's where we pick you up at, and then we drop you off back in Reno, and it's a straight flight back to Barcelona.
Now you will have to build a carport.
That's it.
build a carport. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
You
it's
got
just a couple hours. It's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It actually is easy. It's not hard. But
It really
How many
is. You're just
carports
like,
have you built?
2. Can I answer that pretty quick?
Cool. Hey, as long as the technical skills there, yeah, 100%.
yeah.
And
You
it's
can
like
work a
it's not
mallet.
like, oh, it's you're hammering stakes into the desert, right?
Yeah.
Like you're an experienced desert guy already. So
Mhm.
I mean, you
It's
already got
camping.
it.
You like camping.
Is there gonna be a pool?
There might.
There's a human
might
car
be.
wash.
Yeah. Make friends with the Google execs, there might be.
Yeah.
And part of it's a weekend, so you really only need to request off 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, vacation's not really an issue, but yeah, no, that's an interesting idea. I like the sound of that.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm like 70% on that. When does that happen again?
Let me try and get you to 80. This is going to be the last one that Dylan's going to for a while. So,
Why?
Doing the whole kid thing
mhm.
starting next year. So
Got to get them old
And
enough.
We've
to
been
run
looking
to
for
the
an
desert.
excuse to come to Spain, but you won't get fucking married, so we can't go there.
Mhm.
yeah.
So we're trying to bring you here for a
Mhm.
once in a lifetime, potentially once in a lifetime opportunity.
I get
Yeah.
my wedding invitation by now, but
Mm-hmm.
here we are.
Yeah. When you look back in 5, 10, 15, 20 years, I don't think you're going to be mad that your buddies paid for your ticket and all your food to get you to a really incredible experience.
No, I don't say. Okay, sorry. Did I communicate 70%? I meant like 92. I'm just not going to commit right now.
That's fine. We're not looking for a commitment right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, within the next 24, 48 hours, it'd be sick.
When does it happen? What time of the year? What
Late
month?
August.
Late August.
August 28th to the 5th.
Okay. Yeah, that's enough lead time. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what we thought too. Sorry, we want to have fun with our buddy.
Yeah.
You know?
That's ridiculous.
Fuck us, right?
Ridiculous.
And literally been prepping for it. Every festival I've seen you, you've had your hiking shoes, your lawn pants. I mean, you're already prepped.
Yeah.
It is
Or-
camp.
You remember that
You've
one
been
time I
tons
flew
of
to
training.
Denver to see you before you moved away? You remember that? Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Oh, you mean that
friend.
time when we had all that great fun, Colton? Yeah, dude. We went to the music festival. We went to Red Rocks. Yeah.
Hey, guess what's going to be at Burning Man? Music festival, giant rocks.
Yeah.
Your
Is
buddy
that all
follows
that's
me
going to
for
be
the
there,
RV. You gonna come?
Oh, I'll come. All right.
As long as it's on the RV next door, that's fine.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds like a good time. Yeah, doing the whole kid thing, huh?
Yeah.
So wait, you got one on the way now?
No. Just getting all we're going. She's from Bulgaria, so we're going to Bulgaria for a month in July. We're gonna do our honeymoon. Going to a couple festivals this year. One Eclipse in Austin. Going with Colton and Abby, and then going to Burning Man.
Cool.
Yeah, so we got some trips planned this year before we do that.
And then you're throwing a baby in the oven. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Knocking out 20 years of My life.
All right. You got tested and everything? You can achieve that goal?
Oh yeah. It'll be good. Multiple scares have proven that.
How does one say I've tested positive for COVID, but I haven't had COVID?
The yeast is ready,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah. Yep. Nice.
Yeah, so we've already put some thought into it. So you just say
Clearly.
yes. The rest is taken care of.
For sure.
We gotcha. You're going to love it.
Nice.
And when she gets mad at you, just be like, look, it's because this is what having good friends feels like, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I already knew that. I mean, it's like a warm blanket.
but she doesn't. So you just got to.
That's true.
We know you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick. That'd be pretty epic. And I mean, do you guys have an idea when you are going to get married? Put any dates out there?
Nope, I haven't really thought about it. Yeah, it's just
Fair
one of
enough.
those things that's not really necessary. I mean, again, we're like legally married. We're just not like married. It's just yeah. I mean, because it's just a bunch of money for a wedding, and it's like a thing, and it's just, it's
Yeah.
it's just not something that like excites anybody really. I mean, marriage is just like pretty uncommon over here, anyways. So I mean, normally it's the woman pushing for that kind of stuff, and she doesn't really care. So most people just don't care. Like my sister-in-law was gonna have tried to have a kid, and I mean they were made. No one gets married. Like people have kids and they don't get married, and they just do the whole thing, and that's just how it goes here. It's just a little different speed. So I mean, I would say we've already gone further than most people go.
Fair enough.
In more ways than
Fair
one,
enough.
if you know what I mean.
I don't. What do you mean?
I'm not clarifying.
Go on.
Hold on, let me adjust my pants.
Yeah,
Go
all
ahead.
right, yeah. Elucidate, if you will.
Is there anything that you feel like you miss about America?
National parks.
See, it's happening again.
Oh, that's what it was. It was a.
That's what that does.
What button are
Is that
you
just
pressing?
is that just a button?
I don't. Ooh. And coming around the outside. It's an altering. It's like this. It does the call. It's this thing.
Uh-huh.
It's just I don't know. It's a voice altering thing. What is this button?
Have you never fucked around with this? How long have you had this piece of equipment?
I've had them for a couple years now.
You don't couple years and it's just got buttons on it. You don't even know what they do.
I mean, you just do. I don't know what buttons he's pressing. To be
I don't
honest.
know. I'm still trying to figure out the Rodecaster. It takes.
Yeah, give it a couple more. Yeah, maybe another decade or so, and I'll have it really nailed down.
Yeah. Ooh, there, it's back.
Yeah, maybe I'm back.
Maybe I'm back.
Those effects are actually
kinda cool.
really good too.
Yeah.
How about you come on over here to Burning Man? It's gonna be real hot. You'll sweat.
Hey, I need
That's
that
how we
at
should
Burning
cut our-
Man. All right.
Oh, you'll get it. Don't you worry.
You know, another thing this reminds me of, Dylan, when you did that, that's how we should start cutting our promos, just like for Magic Mind. Hey, if you plan on going to Burning Man, I'd like to invite you to try one of our sponsors over at Magic Mind. I don't think this is the best for you, honestly. If you're looking for something all natural, it's going to give you some juice, all natural ingredients. Let me tell you about our friends over at Magic Mind. If you head to their website and want to just do a little sample, enter Hippies20. Not only is that going to give you up to 57% discount on your first order, but that locks in a 20% recurring for all future purchases. Austin
God damn.
loves Magic Mind. So do I. So try it out now. Head on over there. Check our buddies out. Yeah. Yeah. Just give it a little. Give it a little.
Boost energy, baby. It's got some of that natural L-theanine. Yeah.
It actually is great. You can pair it with your caffeine too.
Oh, baby. Yeah. I just need a chaser or something. Yeah, this guy in the picture here looks like he's enjoying it. This is our story guy. He's having a good time. Looks like he just had about 3 or 4 of them bad boys.
Well, for maximum effect, you do want to do it multiple days in a row. So a minimum
Ride
of
the
3
wave,
days,
chase
guys.
the dragon, if you will. Yeah.
Those are our other sponsors over at testkitplus.com /professional hippies. Those guys, if you're looking to chase a dragon, will help you out with trusting strangers again. So
True.
that's their motto. That's just actually their motto.
That's
Trust
a
strangers
really good
again.
motto.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Trust
Yeah.
strangers again.
Or it could be like, have interesting conversations again. That would probably be.
Never happened. I'm always looking for first.
Maybe go to regular stores instead of Asian markets again. You know,
Why would I do that?
I feel like you probably almost exclusively shop at the Asian markets now.
No, dude. So the funny thing is, like, whenever I go shopping for groceries, I'm normally hitting like 3 different stores. That's one of the downsides about Europe is you got to go to a lot of different. But you can't just go to one place and fucking get everything. There's no such thing as a Walmart. So
learned that today. It's called European shopping.
yeah. I mean, the benefit, it's all in like 5-minute walking distance. So, it's just a couple different trips to different stores.
Do you miss Publix?
I miss that Publix fried chicken.
Not surprised, but you know,
Yeah. The fried
maybe a
chicken
pub
is bomb.
sub. You missed the
Dude,
pub
I just
sub?
got such a craving when you said that. I was like, I'm getting a pub sub after this. And I just, fuck, I'm Publix here.
That sweet pub sub, baby. Fried chicken. Dip in some honey mustard.
It's honey mustard, baby.
Dude, we had phenomenal pad thai last night. We went to some like really, really good. I don't know how authentic it was, but they seemed to care about authenticity on the menu.
Who cares if it tastes good?
Oh, I was so uncomfortable when I left that place. Like, I think that was the first time where I was like, I am eating this whole dish and the dessert.
Did you get some ginger tea?
No, I got kombucha.
Ooh, kombucha's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it is really good.
Did you go mild, medium, or hot? We went to an Indian restaurant not long ago, and that was the heat flavors: mild, medium, hot.
I don't trust even the mild. I asked them, I'm like, hey, I would like a little spice, but they're like, what is, I'm like,
What does that mean?
Tabasco is mild for me. They're like, yeah, you should just not do any spice. I think our olive oil's too hot for you.
So
Honestly,
it automatically is just
Tabasco.
hot.
Come on, dude.
It's true, dude. I like
I'm not a very
spicy
spicy
food, but
person either. Yeah, I'm not a
It
very
just-
spicy
That-
person either.
yeah, I mean, well, the thing about Asian cuisine is they just use a lot of chili flakes and chili flakes, chili powder. It's like it's just heat, baby. It's just heat, and it's like
we have chili crunch that I put like on my breakfast a lot of times, and it's not that intense. Whatever it is about that particular thing with chili crunch,
About as
the
spicy
chili
as
flakes
goes.
are hot.
Remember Chuck E. Cheese, and they were like, you could put that pepper on your Chuck E. Cheese pizza. That was about as hot.
yeah. I remember that.
It was about as spicy as I.
Is Chuck E. Cheese still in
Maybe.
business? Are they still creeping
yeah.
kids out?
They're still
Probably.
going strong.
There's probably some franchises still kicking.
I remember
just
watching them
announced they're getting
pour
rid of all
sugar
their
on the pizza.
Animation.
Why not?
All their
what?
animatronics, they got rid of those. They're done with them.
Why? That was like
That's
kind of the best
yeah.
part.
Too expensive to maintain.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember seeing
I
that as a
didn't know
kid,
they
and it
were
was like
making-
blowing my mind. I went back as an adult, and I was like, that did it for me, huh?
The one eye closing when it's singing, like, welcome to Chuck E. Cheese. Really hope you're enjoying the pizza, guys.
Yeah, they could honestly probably just do just as good with a man that's had a stroke in a costume. Honestly,
Or not had a stroke. Kids are really easy to entertain. That's the nice thing about kids. You just stick them in front of something a little bit wacky, and they're good for hours.
The old machines. Remember the old helicopter things? You take it's a stick with a piece of plastic. You treat it like a helicopter. You send it off. I learned as a kid that if you took the flat piece and stuck it in, it was either the coin machine part or the ticket part. You could just keep pulling tickets and coins out.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do with that.
I'm just going to keep pulling them out.
yeah, that's like when I figured out another use for a fork was sticking it in a light socket. Turns out that's what you're supposed to use that for too.
Yeah. Difference between like the panhandle east and west, sockets, free coins and tickets.
Austin, do you remember that kid in science class that took a paperclip and did that and blew the circuit?
Yeah, who was that again?
Another kid named Austin.
Oh,
Austin,
yeah, that guy was a crazy fuck.
He's like, what do you think's going to happen? We're all like, do it. Please do it.
About to find out.
I mean, dude, what's better is that did it like 9 or 10 times. It wasn't even.
Oh, yeah.
It never got
Didn't
old.
get it on the first go.
It never got old. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not doing anything. Let's do the other
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Multiple teachers too. Yeah. That science class. Remember, we had like 3 teachers for that class in 1 year, man. That thing.
Yeah.
Every last
The
one
guy
of
that
them was
stuck
crazy
too
too.
was such a G. We had Dylan. We had a couple teachers cycle through. The first teacher really didn't know what she was doing, and it was fun because we had a pizza party every Friday. Every Friday was pizza party, or like once a month or something. It was just ridiculous. Too much pizza. It was awesome though. The next teacher that comes in, the school went on a field trip. Austin, did you hang back for the wrestling match where we were like DDTing each other off the tables? Anyway, I got a bloody nose. Blood starts going everywhere. It becomes a whole thing. That teacher gets fired. And then the last guy they bring in is this like war vet dude. I mean, he was like up there in age. And we're seeing what we can get away with. And I remember taking someone's little mirror from their makeup and I was reflecting the sun into his eye for like 20 minutes. Like my arm got tired. And then like a year later, I'm at a football game or something, and I asked him about it. I was like, there was one day I was shining the sun into your eyeball the whole time. He was like, yeah, I knew, but I mean, once you've been through war, you'd be amazed at what you can just withstand.
Met his match.
It's funny because he didn't break me the day I was trying to break him, but he broke me like a year later. I was like, yeah, I'll never be that hard. I'll never be able to not freak out on a kid if they're shining light in my eye for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he told us
played the
this.
long
I mean,
game.
yeah, that was he had some stories about grenades, and that guy was crazy.
Oh, the finger. When he told us about how like there's pressure in your veins, and he was like, if you cut a man's finger off, he told you how far the blood would go.
Yep.
Your school went to the VA's office to They were like, we got to.
Anybody need a job?
We need to hear each of your war stories before hiring.
Now that you guys have
Like,
seen
if
these
you
benefits,
can wait
need a
in line for
paycheck?
services, you can definitely take care of your kids.
They're like, sir, what's your war stories?
I've been through some
Finally,
stuff.
girl. They
Killed
got
some
you.
people. Yeah. Oh man. Well, I think there's something for getting older and appreciating the hell we put people through.
Especially you.
Especially Colton, for sure.
Why does that come back to me? I'm certain both of
I
you
was
were
a
just as
perfect
bad as
angel,
me.
dude. I don't know what you're talking
was
about. Yeah.
Awesome. I never got in trouble.
Yeah, man. Everyone should have a
Yeah.
kid like me, for sure.
Hey, Austin, between the three of us, who has a mug shot?
Hey, man, I was just black in the place. Okay, I don't know what to tell you, man. Just another statistic.
Yeah.
What did you do, Austin?
The same thing that all the white people did, but I got put in the back of a cop car and no one else did. Yeah. That day, I was known, if I remember the police report correctly, as the intimidating black male in the water with the orange shorts, with the aggressive stance. Whatever the fuck that means. Because you could tell from 150 yards away, because that's about how far I was away. But
tell them what actually happened.
It was a long story.
Like
We Pensacola Beach Air Show, Blue Angels. People were getting arrested all day at the beach there. It was wild. There's a lot of people out there, college kids, college town. We went on a boat, rented a beer, got out of the boat, went up on the shore. The issue was there was a construction zone, so we hopped over a little orange fence and then immediately walked out because we had the opportunity to do that. It was just the only way on the beach. There was some construction foreman there, literally the only guy there, got super pissy about us being on his side of the orange tape. We were like, yeah, whatever. We just, this is what we got to do. So whatever. Go down to the convenience store, get beer, come back, do the same thing to get back in the water, go out to the boat. Next thing we know, there's 6 cop SUVs on the shore. They're motioning for people to come up to the shore. I wasn't doing that. No. Underage, of course. We were all underage, except for the guy who owned the boat and his wife. So they went up to the shore. Yeah, they went up to the shore, and then they came back, and they were like, "Hey, they want the kid in the orange shorts." And of course, that was me. Yet again, the wrong skin color and the wrong group. So I go up to the shore, and the cop tells me to step over the fence and turn around, put my hands behind my back, and threw me in the back of a cold ass fucking cop car. That shit was annoying as fuck, dude. The thing about jail people don't know, everything's cold, super cold. And I just had board shorts on for the whole time, dude. No shirt, no anything, dude. They blast the AC in there at 55 degrees, no matter where the fuck you are. Super shitty. But what made that day really funny, so the funny part of this story, besides, being randomly thrown in handcuffs whenever you're not doing anything, whenever we get to the detention center before jail on the beach, we get let in, and then I got arrested with 2 other people. The guy who owned the boat and his son, who was sleeping and got charged with, whatever. Anyway, so we walk into the cell, we look to the left, and there's this girl there. Her name was Angela. We were hanging out earlier in the day, and she disappeared 6 hours earlier. And she's got makeup all running down her face, she just been crying her ass off for so long. I walk over and I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you doing here? And she's like, oh, well, I went on another boat and I ended up getting in a fight and threw this girl off into the water, and they charged me with assault with a deadly weapon.
Dang.
I was like, damn. Yeah, she did. She did some wild shit. She just ended up in a group of people she didn't know, and then fucked around with the wrong people, and then everyone ratted on her as soon as the cops showed up. She went to court for that. We got our charges dropped because it was all bullshit, resisting arrest or some nonsense like that. So yeah.
Did she get her charges dropped?
No. No. She actually committed a crime. Yeah.
Oh man,
well, that's all your fault, Austin. Really,
for sure.
You learned your lesson.
Sweet justice being served.
Yeah, it's just really weird to end up in jail and reunited with the people you were with earlier in the day. I mean, it's the last people you expect to see when you walk in there. It's I know this person. What?
There's a time we had the cops called on us for fighting. And by the time, because Austin and I just had a rule that was just hey, try and avoid hits to the face. That way we understand where we're at here. So we just routinely beat the shit out of each other. And I think it was the point at which one of us was slamming sand in the face of the other.
Yeah, God, I wonder who that was. Man, who the fuck would do something like that?
Anyway, the cops get called. They show up. We're just chilling, drinking some beers, and they come up to us and they're like, "Hey, we got reports that 2 guys were fighting and they match your description." And I was like, "No." Austin and I looked at him, we're like, "Wait." We honestly were confused too, because it didn't register in our head that people would think we were fighting, because it was just kind of wrestling around, just roughhousing or whatever. And they were like, "We're pretty sure it's you two." And I think whatever we were wearing, because we took a picture that day, I think we had like black board shorts on or something.
I had the
And
same
so I was
orange
like,
board shorts on. They're very distinctive. They're bright orange, baby.
yeah. Well, whatever. They were like, "Oh, okay." I mean, that we were just like, "Yeah, we don't know what you guys are talking about." And they're like, "I mean, like, there's no, yeah, okay." So they just walked away. It's like, too, like, also, what are you gonna do? Like, we weren't beat up. It's like, I don't get it. Sometimes policing doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
Like,
no. I mean, you just have to admit guilt. It's like, oh yeah, we were, right. And then next thing you know, you're charged with disturbing the peace if they really want to settle you up with something. Like, yeah, but if you don't admit to anything, how are they going to prove it? Is there a video? Prove it, bitch.
wouldn't have been hard to have a video of that either, though.
They need a
Nope,
map
probably
of
not.
Burning Man like that.
Probably not.
Just right out in the middle.
Too bad they
Not
didn't
out
do
in
enough
Burning
police work investigating and whatnot to find that video. Yeah.
Too bad they didn't do their job.
I can't do it for him, like, fuck. If you really wanted to pin me up for this, you could probably ask around this little beach area here and see if there's a video available. Because me personally, I don't remember. I got a horrible memory, my guy.
A horrible memory.
Yeah, it's probably all the
man.
blow I did before I came out to the beach today. I don't.
They did mention someone had a lot of energy, man.
Yeah, no idea. That was the thing with spring break too, dude. Seeing the amount of people that get hauled off during spring break at Panama City.
Yeah,
You're like, oh, I'll be
Great
part of
time.
that. I'm just gonna take my drink over here as a 16-year-old. I'm just gonna walk that direction.
Because y'all were locals during spring break time, did the cops treat y'all maybe a little differently comparative to?
I never
all
had
the
any
college
interactions
kids
with the
flooding
cops.
there?
Dude, there's so many
Not
people
during-
out there. There's so many fucking people. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I can say distinctly, one time we did get put in handcuffs. We left Lake Town Wharf, which is where we had like our prom after party, but this was during spring break. We were walking down Front Beach. We all had like red Solo cups or whatever, drinks in our hand. This cop comes across 4 lanes of traffic, pulls into the shell. And he's like, "I know this verbatim. I'll never forget. I know you prepubescent fucks aren't drinking on my beach." And so he made us line up, put all of our cups on the hood, and he goes, "I want ages." Starts going down the line, and it's like 21, 19, 18, 18, 19, whatever. Because there was like 5 or 6 of us. And then he gets to me, and I go, I just got to be honest. So I was like 17. And he goes, 17? What the fuck? He's like, "I don't even want to deal with calling your mom. Just go." And so as we're getting pulled over, we kind of huddled around because one of our buddies was on probation. So he ran to the Waffle House. I ran over there to meet up with him. And I'm just watching all my buddies get put in handcuffs. And then they bring a paddy wagon, put them in the back of the paddy wagon. And they're sitting there for a second. And I'm not going to say him. Well, it doesn't really matter. Josh goes, "Hey, I don't want to be disrespectful, just so you know, we are locals, and my father is," and says his dad's name. And his dad has, a pretty established company. So at that point it clicks. He's like, "Oh, these guys are local. Also, I just don't want to deal with all the bullshit." And he goes, "All right, everyone back out," takes everyone in handcuffs. And he's like, "If I do see you on the beach again, I am for sure arresting you and taking you back." So
That's more of that incredible police work, by the way.
Could have saved a lot of time and money if you just found out where we were from.
Didn't ask for a single ID,
know.
I guess. There's not a single person in a
Yeah,
group of 9 with a
nothing.
goddamn license. Like, what?
I think because they
You
bring
all
in
could have all
for
said
spring
21
break,
and been like, "We're good."
then they'd probably want ID for sure. But they bring in so many out of town for like when that was going on.
Yeah.
At that level, they were bringing in so
They
many
set
cops
up
from around.
RVs, police stations. There's police officers and 4-wheelers everywhere. They got like huddle
Really?
points and like group meets and like,
Yeah.
oh man, that's wild, bro. They gear up for that all year. They're like, what are we doing for spring break, Chief?
Yeah.
That was like the cop Super Bowl.
Yeah,
they get to
basically,
deal
yeah.
with.
Well, they would make overtime too. Like if they
They
came
make
from another
pay.
county, like the surrounding counties and stuff, they would make like double pay.
Yep.
So a lot of them would come out for the whole month and just stay, like rent a room or something, and just stay there and work as much as they could because they would get triple overtime if they worked overtime on their already double pay.
Dang. And what was the big club everyone went to there?
Club
It was
La
like
Vila.
Club La Vila. Is that still there?
Yeah.
Still
Yeah,
going?
they don't have spring break going on in Panama City anymore. I don't remember when that happened. About halfway through when we were in college,
Yeah.
when we were like 20.
Yeah.
They put in regulations. You can't drink on the beach. You can't drink in the parking lot during the month of March.
Miami just put out a marketing campaign saying like we are not allowing spring breakers to Miami Beach.
Yeah.
Well, they banned it in Panama City. It moved to like Gulf Shores. It moved to Daytona. It kind of like spread down, and then they started doing the same thing. Because at the end of the day, it just wasn't worth the trouble. Like people were getting shot and stabbed, and
doing drugs
it
and
just-
jumping off of balconies. Yeah, there was a lot of like meth and stuff out there too. So yeah, it's just a crime hub essentially. And there's
Is
too
it
many
slowly
people to
turning
police.
from spring breakers to like those country rednecks mixing in with the spring breakers?
Yeah.
And then it just becomes a mess.
Yeah.
We were at one condo. We got to my buddy's condo who had a corner spot right next to La Vila. So when the free concerts would go on, you could just go to the balcony, check it out. And there wasn't a ton of us. It was like a dozen of us. And it was a really cool experience. And we heard these, out of town dudes come down. They were there half an hour. And one dude dropped an empty beer can on the inside, not even the outside balcony, the inside balcony where the stairwells and all that stuff are. And they kicked him out. They were like, your whole week gone, shot. So and they were like pleading and begging, and they're like, we'll pay, whatever. And they're like, no, like there's zero tolerance policy for litter off the balcony. So I still don't know how
they
them
threw
boys, but
a
they had to
beer
figure out.
can out into like the parking lot from the balcony.
No, it wasn't even like throwing it. He just like dropped a beer can. Like they just got there. They weren't even rowdy. They weren't, turning up or anything. Just like a beer can fell on the inside where the
Dang.
doors are to get into your
Yeah.
condo. It just like fell off. A piece of litter
Oh,
fell down.
okay, yeah.
That'd be a shitty situation because they had all of their beer. They had like, their keg and all the cases they're like lugging up and their luggage and stuff. And then they have to take it right back down
Then you
and
gotta
figure out where to
leave.
stay.
Now you're out. Dang.
Yeah.
That would
Couple
be a
beers
shitty
in already too.
situation.
Yeah. That's like going to Bonnaroo and they're like, yeah, your tent access is revoked. You can stay, but now you just need to figure out where you're going to sleep.
The
You
woods.
can't go that way. You could go that way, not that way. Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a wild time in life.
So, Austin, Burning Man, you're coming, right? It's been 30 minutes. You had a decision time, right?
Nope. No, I'm definitely not committing tonight. That's not happening.
No.
What's it going to take for you to commit? What do we need to iron out?
Some time. Can you give me that?
Yeah. But I'm just wondering, like, what is it that,
Colton, you're not
feel
selling
like-
me on anything right now. Okay, I'm already as sold as I'm gonna be. I just need some time to think about it.
well,
okay?
we're not trying to sell anything.
Yeah, I don't
We're
know.
trying
You're
to
being
buy.
kinda
It's
pushy,
actually, when you
Colton.
think
I'm
about the
trying-
offer, we're actually paying for you.
Trying to get your time frame.
We want to really limit the downside for you. So the guarantee we're bringing to the table is a really good time,
projections here.
limited investment, and a projection of core memories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just need like a week.
A week? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
I got my calendar pulled up here. You want to go ahead and schedule that follow-up?
Yeah.
How about Tuesday at
Yeah.
2 or
Yeah, I can give you a number
When
for
you
some
see
of my
that calendar
friends who would
invite, you
also
just
be
accept
interested
it?
as well. Yeah.
you prefer Zoom or WebEx?
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and send over the contract details. You have an opportunity to look those over with your supervisor.
DocuSign.
Is there anyone else? Is there anyone else we need to add to this decision-making process?
On a very real note, though, if we can get you to come, because we're putting in the application for the camp in about a week or two. So that way,
a week or so.
either way, we'll pay for your fucking ticket, whatever it takes to get you there. But it'd be nice to know that we only have to pay for a camp ticket versus one of the premium off the street last minute making up my decision ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Well, was a week enough time, or is that too long?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, a week's good,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah. Just to let you know, we're putting in the camp submission. And, I want you to come to Burning Man more than I do my hairline to grow back. So that's where we're at here.
Yeah, I'm starting to thin out a little bit too.
And you got a crispy hairline. Okay, mine, they're like fallen soldiers, like Napoleon's warriors. They go down one by one, and I know I miss them. I've named those hair follicles.
every millimeter lost. We could.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember my mom said, "Oh, you just have Granddaddy's widow's peak." I didn't remember Granddaddy went bald. What's that about, dude?
It's Widow's Bald, not Widow's Peak now.
Yeah. I was like, they're just retreating. We need a forward march, bro.
Stonewall. Stonewall.
Yeah. So we can figure that out. All right, boys, I'm getting hungry. I need to get some food in my belly. Yeah.
It's about bedtime for this guy.
What time is it?
What time is it there?
9:30.
Austin?
Oh, nice.
Oh, it is pretty well. Appreciate you staying up late for us.
This is about the normal. I'm just gonna slide into bed around next 20 minutes or so. It's perfect timing.
Just slide right in
Just
there.
slide right in there.
When you go to bed, think about your decision-making process.
I'm definitely not
Just know.
leaving that for tomorrow.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right,
Good talking with
boys.
you, buddy.
Well, hey, if you guys dug this episode, leave us a like, a subscribe.
Like, follow, subscribe.
Fuck that. Subscribe to me.
And next week we have a man that really has their life together coming on. So not that Austin doesn't, or we don't, but if you're wanting to tune in for a much more business focused podcast,
Oh.
bet that'd be the one for you. So cool. We love you guys. See you next week.
See ya.